and welcome to today's video in which I will tell you some Harry Potter activities appropriate for young children. As we all know, 2 days ago it was Harry Potter's birthday, and I decided to take the opportunity to organise some little events for some young children I was able to help take care of. We started with a sorting ceremony from this guy, and they were basically assigned at random unless some children had very specific personality traits. Because they're all way too young to take the Pottermore quiz, they wouldn't understand. This is me from after the event. I will be intercepting my previous self because it turns out I didn't explain a lot of things very well, and we added things as we went along, and I thought you might want to find out about those too. With the sorting, we kind of matched them ability-wise after getting the personality of the children who we could determine, and they were all wearing these little pieces of material that we just draped over the shoulders and pinned together with the pins, so they had corresponding house capes. Here is my badge making process sped up 12 times. And I'm not going to say anything else because this is quite a long part of the video. Skip to here if you'd like to skip this. The age range I'm working with is sort of 0 to maybe 7, but I had like 0 to 5. So these activities I'd say are 0 to 7. Really, it depends on how much you want to help them. And some older children would also enjoy these. Then we had printed out wands and let them colour them in, attach them to popsicle sticks at the end so that they could hold them. They're a bit sturdier. And they also wouldn't poke their eyes out like with chopsticks. I found some wands to colour in because little children love colouring in on the internet. We cut them out roughly. They didn't need to be perfect because the children go over the lines anyway. Bold wands, just held them all and let them swirl on the table so that the one chooses the wizard. They each got one, and then we gave them the pair to go on the other side. Then they coloured them in. We PVA glued some little popsicle sticks onto the wand, 2 for each wand, but that proved a little bit difficult, so we had to sellotape over the wands in the end. You might want to consider using chopsticks. I didn't really want to because they might poke their eyes out with, you know, chopsticks. They're a bit sharper than popsicle sticks. And we also added a little bit of thread with a feather on the end, the correct house, then PVA glued the other part of the wand on and let them dry, and then they had wands. Next, because we'd sorted them into houses, obviously we should do something about that. But the arts and crafts are the biggest thing that takes a lot of time, tidying up and things and setting up, so we did that first. So we did activities based around the Triwizard tournament. This is what we tallied the house points on. It's their favourite toy currently. We had them find egg shakers, one of which was shiny, so that house got an extra 3 points on top of however many eggs they'd found. And then we also got them to answer some riddles, which is what the egg would have provided. We didn't really do anything about the second task apart from the riddles. And in the third task we got them to just walk through a maze made of bricks in the fastest time possible. And they threw these little creatures into a bucket because there really isn't anything that you can do with children aged 0 to 5 that resembles the second task. Maybe if balloons and popping them or something along those lines. And then for the third task we put masking tape down on the carpet and put little chairs that they had to walk over and big chairs that they had to crawl under, and the Triwizard Cup at the end, and they had to just pass through that one by one with a score determining how many house points they get. And then we had flying class, which was literally just a broomstick duct tape to the bottom of a swing, and you can make up any imaginative thing you want with that as well. Then we also did potions class, which was mixing about a third of a plastic bottle of vinegar, So that's 150-ish milliliters of vinegar, and then a few drops of green food colouring because Polyjuice Potion is green, and then some washing up liquid, about a tablespoon for the bubbles, and then about 3 teaspoons of baking soda into a cauldron, which our cauldron turned out to be too big so it didn't spill over and we didn't need the tray. I also recommend a tray. Then you just pour the bottle into the cauldron. Then we had lunch, which obviously do what you want with that. Harry Potter likes pumpkin pasties and things, but that's not really the type of lunch we have. So because it's Harry Potter's birthday, I made a Happy Birthday Harry cake that Hagrid made. I had chocolate on the inside because I prefer that right now, but other than that, pink and green writing as it should be. And then before bedtime they usually watch a movie, so we watched parts of Harry Potter that were relevant to the activities they did today. So Wingardium Leviosa and the sorting, a bit of flying lesson, and then they get a read story. So I read The Tale of the Three Brothers, as well as this wonderful Transfiguration book, which I have not seen anywhere other than the car boot sale I managed to find it at. I'm very happy that I have it. And basically there are just pictures which transform from a normal picture to a magical picture in the book, and I really love this book, so I was glad to read it to them. Also, the preparation truly started yesterday really, because I made 2 batches of chocolate frogs for them, and I also made the cake, and I made a chocolate wand for myself just because I like chocolate wands, but I put some hundreds and thousands into it to make it more magical. And for the cake it was 3/4 of a cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of potato flour, the 6 eggs and sugar beat over a small fire, and then obviously all the other things you do when making a cake, like preheating your oven to 190 degrees, buttering your pan, and pouring the cake mix into the pan and then putting it in the oven for about half an hour. And then I also recommend for the cream getting this Polish cream. It is the best, unless you're making your own, in which case it might be better, but it's the best store-bought one that you can have. It just requires a bit of milk, 200 milliliters to be precise. And I also decorated it with just a green gel icing pen, but it melted a bit overnight, so I just went over it again and made it a bit more readable, but it doesn't really need to be. The children won't recognise it anyway. I was also obviously playing Wizards Unite throughout the day, and also played this Harry Potter trivia game from the year 2000. It's very difficult, some of the questions are, and some of them are a lot easier. It really, there's a variety of these questions, and it's not all about answering questions, it's also about how well you roll the die. So it's good for people even who don't know a whole lot about Harry Potter. Some knowledge is needed, but not masses. And it would help if you'd read the first book, because this is just based on the first book. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Happy 39th birthday, Harry Potter.